Emperor. Emperor front and center. Seven of Pentacles. Someone's growing into the Emperor. Somebody is actually really doing all the work necessary to level up the High Priestess. So you really are in tune with your intuition as well. Like, you're doing things and you're really starting to put the wheels into motion here. There's a lot of work and investment that you've been doing in yourself, listening to your own intuition with the High Priestess and the Emperor here. That's a really powerful person. You're really turning into a powerful person on many levels, not just monetarily, but through your own connection with yourself and your spirit and your intuition. You are almost unstoppable because you know how the world works practically when it comes to money, business, commerce, paying the bills, but at the same time, you're in tune spiritually with things greater than our tiny little bubble of a planet that we're on. You are in tune with your intuition. You take psychic messages seriously, and you actually know how to listen to yourself. You actually know how to listen to your intuition and believe it. You know, it takes a long time to really practice intuition. We all have it, but we block it off, a lot of us, because we don't think that it exists or that it's not real. But if you actually start feeding into it, like any practice, you practice jujitsu, you go on a regular basis and you practice moves, you dance, you do yoga, whatever you're learning, you have to do repetitively until it comes almost like second nature. And that's what getting in tune with your intuition is also like. You can't just one day wake up and be like, I'm psychic, you know, like, it's not exactly like that. Some people have extraordinary gifts, but everyone else is also intuitive, you know. But the way that we learn more about it is that we have to first study how it communicates to us through symbols or feelings or auditorily, depending on how you start to receive messages yourself from your subconscious, you want to call it, if you don't want to call it spirit or other energies around you. We all do it on an intrinsic level. We can walk into a room that's really tense, like something really serious happened. We have no idea what happened, but we walk into a room and you could feel it in the air, right? There's like an electricity in the air of something just serious happened. So we're all in tune with it. Again, you have to become aware of it on a regular basis. So start becoming aware of these weird messages that you might feel, hear, see, touch, smell, dream, right? And then start to investigate what the messages are from you that is telling yourself. But doing this over and over again, we're always going to come to places where we make mistakes, where we don't listen to our intuition. Every young kid has done this, right? Where we were about to do something or doing something, and you know it's bad. Everything in our body is telling us not to do it, but we do it anyway, you know, because we don't know better, or we're not paying attention to the signs because we don't believe in it yet, right? So then you make the mistake. After a few mistakes of you doing that, you start to listen to yourself and believe the messages that are telling you. If something tells you to leave the room immediately. You know, like, don't, you know, figure out why later. You know, it's about reacting to your intuition on a faster basis. And that's how we strengthen our intuition, our intuitions. We all have it. So learning to really be attuned to yourself inside and also outside. This is what I'm getting. And also, the Empress is at the bottom of the deck while I said this huge rant. Boss energy. The Magician. Again, the High Priestess and the Magician. This is like serious energy that you are. This is unstoppable energy. This is security to the max. Like, you are getting to a place where you're going to be so secure with yourself. And that is the greatest treasure of all, because no matter what happens to you, whether good or bad, like, you being secure in yourself and who you are, where you're going, what you stand for, you know, who you choose to be around, who you allow into your life, all these things. When you are in control of it and you own it, and it doesn't matter who you are, it's just like being exactly who you are, being uniquely you and owning it, right? When you're completely being who you are, in tune, the magician and the high priestess, being authentically you, doesn't matter how many other people are behind you, because most likely there will be zero if you're different. So it doesn't matter if there's 0 people or 7,000 people behind you. Are you actually being authentically yourself? Doesn't matter, good or bad, how many followers, or no one knows that you exist. On top of that, we have the Empress and the 7 of Pentacles, which is like giving me a lot of birthing of new ideas. Maybe there's new monetary jobs opening up for you. There's different avenues of business that you haven't even started yet, but you're going to be doing different things, opening up yourself to new opportunities in how to make money. This is all about having foresight. 3 of Wands. Having the foresight and the plan, so once you become in tune with what would make my soul happy right now, it doesn't matter how impractical it is. Maybe it's moving across the country, maybe it's moving to a certain place that you always felt like you might feel freer. You have to start looking elsewhere. This also could be meaning traveling abroad with 3 of Wands. Sometimes when things aren't working out where you are, if you gave it the old college try and it still doesn't work, maybe it's just the area that is just not giving you the right kind of feedback that you need. Maybe it means that you don't belong in that area. Doesn't mean that you always have to leave an area to make your life better. But if nothing in your life is going well with maybe your work situation, you can't find work, sometimes searching outside of your own mental limitations, it's going to open yourself up to feeling so much freer, because the world is large and we confine ourselves to this little corner of life wherever we live, and we think that's all of life because we get so consumed in the microcosm of our little neighborhoods that we are in. We forget that there's so many other places out there that might actually resonate with ourselves better. So it's really about listening to yourself, whether or not you belong where you are, where you need to go. Standing your ground with this, because like I said, whether you have 7,000 followers or 0, you have to be able to stand your ground about like what you actually believe in, what you want, what would make you happy. It doesn't make what would make your grandmother happy. It doesn't mean what would make whoever else happy. It's about what would make you happy, and actually standing your ground and staying there, right? You stand on top of your Empress like energy and you say, this is what I want. I feel like this would make me happy. I deserve to give it a try. Doesn't mean that everything that you try is going to succeed, but at least you're not getting to a place where you never try anything new. You don't try anything different because you're so scared of the change. If you're in a place where you're unhappy or you're unsatisfied or it's just not working out on any level, right? Give yourself a chance to start somewhere else. Give yourself a chance to start something new. Even if you stay where you are, do something different. Like literally do anything different. Maybe it's a new job, maybe it's a new hobby, something that you always wanted to try. Even if it doesn't work out, who cares? You'll get a lot more confidence in just yourself and in that Empress, sitting on your high priestess throne where you're just like totally in tune with yourself. It doesn't matter what the outcome is as long as you try it. I guess someone mischievous could take that as, well, I could do anything I want as long as I try it, and hurt people along the way. Not necessarily, because you're giving yourself your own, like, all these people are negatively thinking of you and you collect that energy anyway. So if you're a person that just wants to rationalize doing bad things to people because, like at least you're taking the chance, there's ways of going around it, if you know what I mean. There's ways of going around it. The King of Pentacles. This is about money. There might be a new job opportunity somewhere else where you are not living. The Wheel of Fortune is about going with the flow, getting to that place that you need to go, that you want to go. But this wheel turns, and there's good things and bad things along the way with the wheel, right? So you have to learn to roll with it. If things push you in a certain direction, just take a chance, because the worst thing that can happen is you fail and you start right where you were before that. You didn't really waste time. Anxiety or regret, which one would you want to deal with? I'd rather deal with anxiety over, about doing something for the first time and being anxious about it is the exact opposite as being excited over something, right? But regret hits a little bit harder, because regret means that you lost a chance that you never took, and it never came back. And that regret of not even trying is with you longer than the anxiety that you'll have trying something new and failing. Because regret lasts a lifetime. You can't change the past, and in the future, if there's no other opportunity to change the future with whatever situation that gives you regret, I'd rather not have that looming over my head, right? So if you want to stay up at night regretting, your actions or your non-action, then that's you. It's you to decide. You have to take the chance and actually say it and go for it and do it. Like, take charge, like the Knight of Swords is, right? This is someone that is really taking their own life, and just radically going for things, taking the chances, and seeing what happens, because that brings excitement to your life instead of regret and misunderstanding. 12:21 on the clock. It's also 12:21 today. 10 of Pentacles. This is a really good outcome for you. You are really getting to a place where you're very strong. I'm getting a lot of strong, sturdy energy with this. Like, you are really getting into a place where you're really going to explode in success. And you have all the good forces. You have the Empress on your side, the Wheel of Fortune, the King of Pentacles on your side. You have also have the Emperor. Remember, the Emperor and the Empress. Look at this. The Magician and the High Priestess, which is also a crazy match. This is a lot of energy that is a coming of forces. It's going to be like a superstorm of good fortune for you. A complete 180 of wherever you are right now. It's going to give you so much happiness and excitement. You're going to wake up every morning with just, you can't wait to get out of bed kind of feeling. You say goodbye to all the people and energies that never once served you. Put a death to it. And you find your, community, you find where you live. I really get with this. It's like your living arrangements. You're coming around the corner, I want to say. Queen of Wands and Queen of Cups. I mean, there's so many high cards on this. The Ten of Pentacles. There's nowhere, maybe this is where you are right now, there's nowhere to go but up. And you just have to just take the chances and jump. Knight of Swords is like, he's on his horse and he's ready. He's ready for anything. This is a really strong read. Work, collaboration, Three of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Queen of Cups. There's a lot of matching energy here. There's 3 matches. The Emperor and the Empress, the Magician and the High Priestess, the Queen and the King of Cups, and the 10 of Pentacles with the Wheel of Fortune. We also have the King of Pentacles. This is extreme wealth. and happiness and contentment on the most spiritual level. It's not a facade where you're just driving around a Porsche with your, hot spouse, and, to the outside world you look like you made it, but inside it's empty, crumbling, and not what it seems. It's not going to be like that. It's going to be finding someone that truly matches you, complements you naturally. And when you come together and appreciate each other in a way where you're equally showing affection towards one another and support, and you stick together, the energy and power that comes from two people like that actually have a very strong connection, like, try getting in between this connection. No one compares, because you know what you have when you find something unique. You want to hold on to it because you know how long it takes to find another person that is unique. It's not one all be all, but it takes a long time to find someone special. We can all find people to fill the slots of what looks good on paper, but the real emotional, spiritual connection, when two people share that and hold on to that and protect that, that's on a whole nother level as well. It's on like another spiritual realm, because now you're greater than the two halves, right? And it's just a different type of power, which also gives you more good luck in finances, security, love, community, spirituality. That's all the pillars of what a relationship should encompass. So wherever you're going, make the move. Say yes to any opportunity, even if it fails. There's no hurt in trying something, as long as it's good-natured. And the outcome that you get from something that's so risky, you would think it's risky, but if you realize the outcome that could happen after just taking a little chance, it's like going to the casino and just betting $50, but then you won back $50,000 and you didn't even realize that the jackpot was that high, or whatever it was. You get back a lot more than what you expect. So just take little chances, because it could literally be a gold mine, both spiritually, relationship wise, and with money.